It's more app reviews from the Social Networker and Living Life Mobile. This time we look at 5 Degrees and Forecast, once again from the Samsung Blogger Lounge at South by Southwest 2012. Banjo already sent us a tweet.
I already responded to
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. So, another darn episode in a row.
Yes, it's...
I'm tired of making this seem like we're doing these on different days because we're wearing the same clothes.
We're seriously going back to back. We're so behind on these apps.
Or we could have done this the next morning and we've done the walk of shame and wearing the same clothes. No, as you can see, we're in the same couch, the same lighting, everything's the same. So off we go. We're going to do another couple ones.
Yeah.
Which one do you want to start with?
Let's start with 5 Degrees.
Start with 5 Degrees, go for it.
So on the previous episode we talked about Waddle, and we met them at the, what event was that?
Waddle?
Where did we meet Waddle?
We met them at the party at 10 Oak that was for those people. Flurry.
So along with Waddle, we also met the team from 5 Degrees. So what is 5 Degrees? 5 Degrees basically is interacting with your business life and then making sense of it. So where Hashable, you're strictly doing introductions, where I'm introducing myself, I'm getting that information. 5 Degrees is the other side of it, saying, you have this information, let me make more sense of it. And they have an iPhone-only app for now.
Yep.
They are working on Android. It seems to be a common theme with the apps that we're looking at.
Well, so we should talk about that. For 1 second. We're finding a problem with they're picking the iOS platform first, even though they're giving away free apps. And I'm not saying give Android first, but it's interesting we're not getting a parallel dissemination. Their point was we want to get it right now before we release it on other platforms.
But they all, well, I shouldn't say all, but a lot of them said there are things that they can't do on the iOS platform that they're frustrated at, which
sure,
I would assume they would be able to do on
more open,
Android,
yes,
BlackBerry, or something else.
Yes, 100%. So the 5 Degree guys were nice. They had like 6 billion people with us. There's more than 5 degrees of people that were there from their group.
Yeah.
They said they brought 10.
They drove a van down from Chicago.
12-person van from Chicago.
God bless them, man. I couldn't do that.
From Chicago to Austin. Not happening. All right, so you fired up, you connect to your networks.
So I've connected to, I think they said right now it's Google, and there was a LinkedIn part, but it wasn't fully big.
No, he couldn't get through everything through the API when I was talking to him.
Okay.
So there's some things in the API that was accessible to them. It wasn't their app, but what they could access from that data on the outside.
Yeah, so you have all these contacts. You have it in Gmail, you have it in LinkedIn, you have it in Facebook, you have it in these other social networking type of things. They're making sense of it and giving it to you in a very nice, clear way. The app is pretty nice. I would say it does need a little bit, maybe more color, a little bit more jazz.
It's a little bland, which is okay.
But they've thought of a lot of things. So one of the things is it's in this panel setup, and they've given you the option to move the panels around. So maybe you want to see your active things you're doing today versus the people you've got to connect to, or your scoreboard or anything like that. They've given you option. And what's really nice about that is they're taking that information. So they're going to say, hey, it looks like everybody likes this setup the way it is. Maybe that's how we launch the product, with another version, or maybe that's how everybody should be displaying or looking at it. So I thought it was a really nice setup. They were awesome to sit down with. The app, I mean, it really is very nice. It really works.
Well, you're looking at the UI now, so you can see it's smooth flowing. They made it lightweight. There's no issues with performance that we saw. It's got more work to do. It's new. It's a brand new app. But it's one of the cool things that we're liking about being down here is all the ones we're being handed while we're walking around that are cool, that are new, and does it do something for us? The true test is what we wrote from last year when I wrote the blog entry. Have I deleted it from my device?
Yeah.
Am I still using this application?
That'd be a good test.
So I think as they expand, it'd be a good one to keep playing with. It looks fairly reasonable.
It does, and I think it's going to be, I mean, right now I only have Google, but I think when I'm able to start integrating the other networks, it's going to make more sense, and I'm going to see some more value with it. But I do like it.
Right, and their point was being able to get more information about the networks that you connect to in a single place.
Yep.
So good for the 5 Degree folks. They had cool shirts too, and they had coasters.
Yeah.
They had coasters that had the 5 Degree info, and the object was you'd look at the coaster and see in the corner a QR, and the other side was like a notepad that was messed up. So instead of taking notes,
to mimic that, like you left a drink on a notepad and that the moisture soaked in and blurred everything.
Right. So good ups to them. We'll see what it does. It's brand new, guys, so don't expect a lot of function out of it just yet because it's still new. Next up, forecast. Everyone's getting on forecast. I'm getting emails like crazy, please load forecast. Load our app, load our app, load our app. Tell people where you're going to be. Well, I can do that many ways. So we load the app, we tell people where we're going to be, and then it doesn't do much else.
So I guess for me, my idea of forecast is I'm going to be in this location.
Right.
I want to be able to look at the app, tell me what's going around either at that location or maybe around that location. So let's say I'm going to go to dinner at this restaurant. I would assume the app would say, well, let me give you a little forecast of what's going on around you. Oh, there's a show about to start. There's a movie theater that has these play times. Oh, you know, there's a street fair going on. Something.
Oh, hook into one of the reservation systems and make me a reservation.
Yeah.
I'm going there. I'm telling you I'm going to be at the restaurant. Hook into what is it, Open Table or one of the other ones, and try to get me a reservation. I don't know if they have the API. We're talking about what the service could be to make it even more useful for us day to day. So keep that in mind. I'm not saying the API is available for them to go to Open Table and hook into it. But the idea is, if I'm giving you a location, tell me everything you can. Tell me what the weather's going to be, for gosh sakes. You know, if I'm saying I'm going to South by Southwest and forecast, pull up a little thing that says, oh, get the weather for that location. I mean, I'm just saying these are things that if it's a forecast, tell me everything you can about it.
The other thing, and I didn't bring, I don't think I brought this up, but this was an app that we had on our list before we went to South by Southwest. So I loaded it, and in my forecast, I put that I was going to South by Southwest, and I assumed that we would arrive at this time, which I think was 1:30.
Yes.
Now, it was raining like crazy. We stopped for lunch. You know, there was a bit of traffic here and there. So we did not arrive by 1:30. The app did pop up and say, are you there? And if you're not, change the time.
That's great. But who did it notify?
Well, that's a good point.
So he changes the time. Who did it notify? I didn't get a notice. It doesn't say Paul's going to be late. I don't even see if we were capable of being friends. So there you go, as an option, because we don't want to spam everybody, but an option that says, oh, please also notify.
It was my friend.
Of course you do. Notify these people that I'm going to be late because I forecasted to be here at this time. Send them a Twitter message, send them a Facebook message, whatever I authorize, but send them some notice.
Or don't pop up and say change the time. Maybe pop up and say,
how late are you going to be?
30-minute buffer.
How late will you be?
Another 30 minutes or something
like a snooze, a forecast snooze.
Yeah.
A force snooze. Is that right?
Operated by
Copyright now by LivingLifeMobile and the Social Networker. It's Force News, just so you know. But do it that way as well. No?
Yeah.
So I wish the app did more. I think that's the point. Yeah, you agree. You agree.
I do agree. I assumed it would do something different. I mean, in my
there you
mind,
go. Something different.
It was forecast.
Yes.
Give me a forecast. Now, maybe I'm taking this the wrong way. It's not me getting the forecast. I'm giving the forecast to you.
But all I'm doing is telling them where I'm going to be, but there's no way to work with that data. And if I'm telling you where I'm going to be, I think the app would be more valuable to me to want to put it in there if I got something out of it in return.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
That's true.
And if you guys are watching and forecasting and we got it wrong, trust me, everybody else sends us messages and tracks us down and finds us. Find us.
Happy to talk and
put it back on the show.
Let us understand. I am not getting rid of it. I'm going to stick with it.
We're not abandoning you. We just want more.
I made the assumption that...
You know, it'd be great. So think about this. You guys have to monetize, and I know that. And you look at us like, why don't you do this yourselves? Because that's not what we do. We review the apps. But they could build in almost like what Foursquare is doing when you check in, but give me the specials at that location. So I'm forecasting this restaurant, hook into the specials to say you're going to check in with Foursquare. Here's the specials there too, so you can start using that. I can get you a reservation with Open Table. I can tell your friends you're going to be late. I can tell you the weather that's going to be there. I can do all that other stuff.
We didn't mention, but it does integrate with Foursquare, so that when I did finally get to Austin, I did go into forecast, hit the one button, and
it checked you in.
Basically said I was here in forecast, and then checked me into Foursquare. So
well, that's what I'm saying. Take it the next step and say, give me the specials too.
Specials, or even I've made the forecast. There goes back to my original point. I've made the forecast. Maybe tell me a little bit more information about where I'm going. Tell me what's around it. Because guess what? After I eat dinner, maybe there's a concert a block away that I should see. for something for South by Southwest. Look how many times our plans have changed so drastically.
Our plans are changing like today.
Yeah,
Getting this, and we should thank Samsung in this episode again for letting us have time in the Blogger Lounge in the studios, one of the many studio spaces. They have a few.
Yeah.
We weren't the fancy one that you can see over our shoulder way back there. We weren't allowed in that one, but we got the lovely couch.
Hey.
No, we want to thank Samsung.
Yeah.
We want to thank Gen X Connect for the lights again.
Yes.
They had them set up and we powered them up. And then
we bullied our way in here.
We bullied our way in and powered everybody out of the way and set up our little bitty setup studio in a bag for everybody. So another episode, we'll have some more coming up, and we've got another 25 or 30 eps to go.
Easily.
And what we should say right now is what we tell everybody how to find us. Living Life Mobile.
LivingLifeMobile.com/blog.
And on the Twitter.
Twitter is Life on Mobile.
Life on Mobile. For me, you guys know this one will show up on the Social Networker. You find me as I do notes on every network that exists known to man, even ones that aren't invented yet. We own the name. And we'll have another episode out shortly. Make sure you click the link, subscribe, and also make sure you go back and watch some of the past shows that we've already done. All right, everybody.
See ya.